This video will introduce the WRCA elementary course templates and explain how to use activity and lesson control options in CN to build your course. Okay, let's get started. So in this course, I have something similar to what you have gotten in your CN course site. Let's assume you have already edited the basic course settings and you have populated course introduction. Let's directly dive into building your lessons. So this is the templates you have received. If I collapse lesson templates, you can see on the left side, you have lesson templates. This is the core part of your course. You are going to build your lessons using these templates, and you later duplicate and edit and create multiple lessons using the lesson templates. There are CISO plug and play activities. These are templates as well. They give you different activity ideas. You could use some of these activity templates in your lessons, and we will show you an example in just a little bit. With the original templates, the first thing I would like to demonstrate is let's make a duplication of these lesson templates. Click the gear icon next to this lesson title and click copy lesson. There are no due dates in any of these activities, so just choose confirm. Where is the copy? Right under this original one. So this way you have a backup of the clean version of the templates. Okay, now come back to lesson templates. We're going to call this lesson 1. And let's say this is a visual design course. I'm going to call the first lesson creating and understanding art. Save the title. Now you will build the first lesson. Looking into these templates, activity guide for teachers is only for you. So after you glance through the guide, you may delete it. Let's delete this activity. Okay, the rest of the elements come as a pair. One is for the classroom facilitator, teacher facing, and the other one is the student facing content. You always want to have a pair of each element. Introduction is required. Prepare for learning self-assessment is required. And also the last items, proof of learning self-assessment, they are required. So you want to keep these 3 elements. You will populate them using your course-specific content. Now we directly dive to the learning activities in the middle. So from Explore and Connect all the way to Test are different learning activities for students to complete the entire lesson. You have the freedom to choose some to use. You could use some, maybe even duplicate and use a template twice or 3 times, and some of the activities you may not use, you can delete them. You do not have to use each of these. Okay, so let's say here you want to use Explore and Connect, this activity type. The teacher-facing portion, typically you make populate after you have populate the student one, right? So you come back here and give the classroom facilitator some instructions and the materials for them to use. We focus on building the student-facing activity. To build this one, let's say you glanced at the CISO plug and play activities and you really like the jigsaw activity. You want to use the jigsaw activity for this Explore and Connect activity. The most efficient approach probably is you go to the jigsaw activity template, okay, and you simply copy the steps, because this is the only difference between this template and the Explore and Connect template. You copy that part, the steps, and paste it into the steps, into this part. Replace the yellow highlighted text. But here, because I want to show you the various control options in CN, so I'm going to take a different approach. Let's switch back to Edit View. And we go to the Jigsaw activity. For the template, I'm going to make a copy of this template. So that way I always have a clean copy for future use. And this one I just copied. I'm going to move it to my first lesson. Choose Move to Different Lesson. And choose Lesson 1. Okay? Move activity. So this will move the copied activity into Lesson 1. We need to move it up. To do that, if you use the Move Up option, it will be one click, move up one spot. It's too slow. So a more efficient approach is click Sort Activities. And let's do a drag and drop. We put it all the way here. Okay, because we're going to use this activity to replace the Explore and Connect student-facing activity. Once done, click Save. Okay, and let's find it. It's here. We don't want to use this one anymore, right? So we delete this activity. And you don't have to keep the original titles. These are template titles. So let's say the Explore and Connect activity is actually for a topic called Art and You as the title. So put it in, save it. We're going to talk about how to edit the specific content within an activity in the next CN Spotlight. So here, we updated the title for the teacher overview, and we're going to come here on the student part of this activity, and let's update the student-facing content title. Here you can see we have this title, topic-based for the teacher-facing component as well as the student-facing component. So let's assume you have populated further learning activities and your first lesson now is done. Once you have your first lesson, to populate more lessons, you may make a duplicate, copy the first lesson and tweak it to make the second lesson, right? And then later, the same way, third, fourth, fifth, and more lessons. You could also repeat what you did earlier. On this blank lesson templates, you duplicate that to save a clean copy, and then you build your second lesson on this original generic template. That's also fine. So remember, eventually, once you build all of your lessons, you want to remove these CESO lessons because they are templates just for you to view. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a real course. Although it's a middle school level course, but you can see it has several lessons. Lesson 1, and this is lesson 2 with activities under it. Lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, and lesson 6. Lesson 7. So this one has 7 lessons. The middle school and high school courses directly have students in the courses to complete learning activities like post, take quiz, submit assignments, and it doesn't have the teacher-facing component. That's the only difference between the middle and high school courses and elementary courses. However, the lesson structure is similar. Just want to give you some ideas of a build-out course.